reveals that Maldives has a strong chance in winning the UNSC non-permanent seat for the 2019 to 2020 term. Islamic Ministry reveals plans to construct 12 mosques across Maldives in 2018. And WFP says that in 2017, the agency had to deal with an unprecedented number of emergencies, mostly caused by conflict and other unsolved political issues.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Zinat Hassan and you're watching PSM News in English. Deputy Permanent Representative to the Maldives Mission in Geneva, Salim Wahid, assures that Maldives has a strong chance in winning the United Nations Security Council non-permanent seat for the 2019 to 2020 term.
Speaking on Talk Maldives TV program aired on PSM News, Deputy Permanent Representative to the Maldives Mission in Geneva, Salim Wahid, stated that he firmly believes that the Maldives has a strong chance in winning the United Nations Security Council UNSC non-permanent seat for the 2019 to 2020 term. Reiterating the strong track record of Maldives in the international arena, the Deputy Permanent Representative expressed that it is one of the many reasons Maldives will win the non-permanent seat. When asked about what Maldives has got to offer at the Council, Deputy Permanent Representative said that a lot will be offered by Maldives. He noted that when it comes to new and emerging threats in international peace and security, Maldives is the first to voice out. He added that the Maldives has a different perspective in overcoming challenges faced in international peace and security, and that it is what stands out when competing to the seat.
There are issues where we can make a significant impact, where we have a lot to offer, especially when it comes to new and emerging threats to international peace and security. Easy examples are non-state actors, and of course the issue of climate change as a threat to international peace and security. But the way that we address it, the way that the Maldives chooses to address this issue, is in a holistic way. We say that the only way to move forward is by addressing the root causes, by going beyond traditional notions of security. So that idea in itself is something that's inherently new to the Council. That the way that the perspective that we have going into this means that we actually do have an edge over our competitor, who is better funded and very, of a much larger country.
The Maldives is seeking election to the United Nations Security Council as a non-permanent member for the 2019 to 2020 term, the election for which is scheduled at the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly to be held in New York in October-November of 2018. This is the first time in its 51 years of United Nations membership that the Maldives has applied for membership to the United Nations Security Council.
Ministry of Islamic Affairs reveals plans to construct 12 mosques across Maldives in the year 2018. Construction of well-equipped mosques is a prime focus of the Islamic Ministry. Under the objective, the ministry have completed and inaugurated 19 mosques by May this year. While some of the mosques are constructed on the expenditure of the state budget, other mosques are built on aid provided from both local and international aiders. Saudi Arabia has remained at a forefront in providing aid for building mosques, while Saudi King has consistently given grant aid to build mosques in Maldives in the past 4 years. As per information provided by the Islamic Ministry, the mosque would be constructed in islands of Rai Atoll, Garf Dal Atoll, Tha Atoll and Rai Atoll. Islamic Ministry revealed that an Islamic center is planned to be built in Tinadu Island of Gavdal Atoll and Ugufaru Island of Ra Atoll. In addition to the mosque in atolls, the mosque in capital Mali city is also set to undergo major renovation and construction. In this regard, two 12-story multi-purpose mosques and a 5-story mosque are to be built in Mali city in 2018. Maldives Airports Company Limited (MACL) reveals the project to establish a new seaplane terminal at Velana International Airport will commence next month. MACL wishes to expand the seaplane service with the development of the new seaplane terminal.
The project to develop a new seaplane terminal along with a new runway is contracted to Beijing Urban Construction Group (BUCG) of China. Managing Director of Maldives Airports Company Limited (MACL), Adil Musa stated, with the new terminal, services rendered will see major changes. Managing Director Adil Musa added that the terminal is being developed in 2 phases and noted that the design has been completed and approved by relevant authorities. Continuing on, Adil Musa expressed that terminal will come into services within 2 months after completion and highlighted that the new seaplane terminal will be completed by the end of next year. MACL reported that the reclamation of 1.83 hectares of land for the new terminal has been completed. The new seaplane terminal comes as a part of a $1 billion mega project to expand and upgrade Velana International Airport. The expansion comes in line with growing tourist arrivals and increasing bed capacity due to the opening of new resorts in Maldives. Seaplane is the preferred mode of transport between Velana International Airport and dozens of resorts, especially those located in outer atolls. According to MACL, the 4-story terminal will have state-of-the-art equipment and facilities, including lounges and restaurants. Maldives operates the largest seaplane hub in the world.
Maldives FSM Private Limited signs agreement with Maldives Transport and Contracting Company (MTCC) to relocate all of its petrol sheds in Mali City to the newly developed industrial village. Under the $3.2 million project, the 3 petrol sheds managed by FSM would be relocated to the industrial village. FSM revealed that the new mega shed would be equipped with 18 oil tanks, and the new shed would also provide petroleum to sea vessels. FSM further said with the completion of the new petrol shed in the industrial village, the use of oil bowsers for fuel supply would be terminated. FSM is a subsidiary company of State Trading Organization STO, founded in 2000. Ministry of Tourism estimates that 27 new resorts would be opened in the Maldives within the next 2 years. A statement issued by Ministry of Tourism to the media reveals that 27 new resorts would be opened in the Maldives within the next 2 years. While Tourism Ministry has revealed that more new resorts are in the pipeline, the government of the Maldives continuously work for the enhancement of the industry. Statistics shows that these major efforts bring out positive results in the industry and that the industry is developing at a fast pace. President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Gayoom has pledged to assist investors to open 50 new resorts in Maldives in his first term at office. The administration has been exerting major efforts to make it a success. According to Tourism Ministry, since 2013, 27 new resorts have been opened in Maldives, with another additional 27 resorts to open within the next 2 years. Meanwhile, Maldivian tourism industry exhibited a remarkable performance in November, displaying a growth of 15.2%. With the 120,506 tourists that visited during the month of November, total arrivals to Maldives have summed up to 1,246,501 in the first 11 months of 2017. This is a 6.8% growth compared to the same period of 2016. By regions, Europe, Asia and the Pacific, America and Africa also saw a firm growth during the period. And now we'll look into the latest news updates from international arena. Civic authorities in India's financial capital Mumbai launched a drive to demolish illegal structures in Kamala Mills area of the city, where 14 people were killed in a massive fire.
Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation BMC razed restaurants which had encroached upon public land and violated construction norms. Bulldozers tore down boards and sheds outside restaurants, and BMC workers broke walls and flooring using hammers. Reportedly, BMC also ordered fire safety audits of the city's nearly 8,000 restaurants, which will be visited by thousands for New Year's Eve celebrations. The action comes after a fire swept through a rooftop restaurant in Kamala Mills on Friday, killing at least 14 people, most of them women attending a birthday party. The restaurant, where the blaze started after a shed made of bamboo and tarpaulin caught fire, violated fire safety norms and encroachment regulations with obstructions in the way to its emergency exit. Kamala Mills is home to several corporate offices and is a major nightlife district, with several high-end pubs and restaurants opening up in recent years.
Fear still haunts the injured civilians during a recent string of suicide bombings at a cultural center in the Afghan capital Kabul, which left 41 dead.
While visible scars may soon disappear, there will be continued fear of similar future attacks among the 84 civilians who are under the care of different hospitals across Kabul. Kabul's Istiqlal Hospital is one among many other facilities that are trying to bring these injured back in shape as quickly as possible. Most of the injured are students who sustained burns. A student named Muhammad Hassan is one of them. Though the blister marks on his face and neck are all gone, there is still a sense of fear every time he recalls the bombing scenes. Hassan was attending a lecture in a basement hall when the explosion went off. The impact was so huge that he fainted right after getting hit on his head. Despite the testing times, Hassan has full faith in his country, even though people around him criticized the government's incompetency. He wishes to serve his country someday.
Dramatic footage shows serious civil defense workers rescuing babies moments after airstrikes hit eastern Ghouta on Saturday.
On Thursday, the International Committee of the Red Cross (ICRC) said it hoped to resume evacuations of critically ill people from Syria's biggest remaining siege after bringing some individuals out of the area near Damascus on Wednesday. The evacuation, which started on Tuesday after a deal between Damascus and a rebel faction, involved letting some patients leave rebel-held eastern Ghouta in return for insurgents releasing detainees. Last month, the United Nations called on world powers to help arrange the medical evacuation of 500 people, including 167 children from eastern Ghouta, dubbing it a humanitarian emergency. The United Nations estimates 400,000 civilians have been under siege in eastern Ghouta by President Bashar al-Assad's forces. Syria's state-run Ikhbariya television reported on Thursday 35 medical cases had been evacuated by the Syrian Arab Red Crescent SARC and 34 detainees held by the rebels released. The ICRC said it and SARC had started evacuating 29 serious medical cases late on Tuesday, and on Thursday said only 16 had been evacuated so far.
United Nations World Food Programme WFP says that in 2017 the agency had to deal with an unprecedented number of emergencies, mostly caused by conflict and other unsolved political issues.
An estimated 700,000 Rohingya refugees are being given nutrition support every month in the Cox's Bazar area in Bangladesh. WFP has been active in Syria, where 7 years of war have trapped people in a vicious cycle of poverty and hunger. The United Nations agency completed more than 300 successful airdrops into the eastern city of Deir ez-Zor between April 2016 and August 2017. In Yemen, WFP says it is assisting people in what they described as one of the world's worst hunger crises and after 2.5 years of conflict and destruction, the agency has more than doubled its efforts, reaching an average of 7 million people a month. WFP is also active in Africa, particularly in Somalia and Uganda, that now hosts more refugees than any other country in the continent.
China denies reports it has been illicitly selling oil products to North Korea after US President Donald Trump said he was not happy that China had allowed oil to reach the isolated nation.
US President Donald Trump said on Twitter on Thursday that China had been caught allowing oil into North Korea, and that would prevent a friendly solution to the crisis over North Korea's nuclear program. South Korea's Chosun Ilbo newspaper this week quoted South Korean government sources as saying that US spy satellites had detected Chinese ships transferring oil to North Korean vessels about 30 times since October. US officials have not confirmed details of this report. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chongying told reporters she had noted recent media reports suggesting a Chinese vessel was suspected of transporting oil to a North Korean vessel on October 19th, adding that since August there were no records of a particular ship entering or leaving a Chinese port. She said she was not aware if the vessel had docked at the port in other countries, but the relevant media reports did not accord with facts.
In sports, former world number 1 Serena Williams says she was pleased to be back on court in her first match since giving birth in September.
Williams played Jelena Ostapenko and was beaten by the Latvian in an exhibition match at the Mubadala World Tennis Championship in Abu Dhabi. It was her first outing since winning her 23rd Grand Slam singles title at the Australian Open in January, while pregnant before taking time out to have the baby. She failed to fully rediscover her rhythm and quickly dropped the first set 6-2 to the French Open champion. The 36-year-old American won the second set 6-3 before losing the decisive tie-break 10-5 in the exhibition match. Williams said the match was a wonderful opportunity to test out where she is at physically and mentally.
Definitely new experience. It played out pretty well. Like I said, in the middle of the match, I looked over and I was like, is Olympia okay? Because usually I'm always with her. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to manage that, but maybe I'll just always look over in the middle of a Grand Slam and be like, is Olympia okay? But when she gets older, she'll be able to actually come out to the matches.
In the four-piece band Pale Waves have cultivated a big following in Manchester, England, where they met while studying. After making the BBC Sound of 2018 longlist, they look poised to possibly go from indie to mainstream. So far, no confirmation on an album for 2018, but their latest single, New Year's Eve, was perhaps unsurprisingly released on December 29th.
Cardi B, who is also expected to make a big impact in 2018 after she became the first solo female rap artist to get a #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 since 1998 after her single Bodak Yellow went viral and rose up the charts. The song has seen the artist pick up nominations for Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song at the Grammys. In December, Cardi B released an ensemble track with Migos and Nicki Minaj called Motorsport. Still, there is no confirmed date for a new album in 2018, but Rolling Stone magazine reported that she has up to 7 tracks already and is aiming to mix Spanish, reggae and trap music. Early 2000s indie rockers Franz Ferdinand are releasing new material with 2 new people in the band after founding member Nick McCarthy left. The band will release new single Always Ascending in January, ahead of their album release date of February 9th. According to the official charts company in the United Kingdom, Ed Sheeran will enter 2018 as double winner. The singer-songwriter is #1 on the official album art with Divide and #1 on the single chart with Perfect. And Lady Gaga is set to start a 2-year residency at the Park MGM Resort on the Las Vegas Strip in December 2018. The pop star follows in the footsteps of Celine Dion, Britney Spears and Shania Twain, who in the past have also done concert residencies in Las Vegas too.
Two Hawaii men who have friends for over 60 years celebrates a special holiday gift after discovering recently that they are actually half-brothers. Walter McFarlane and Alan Robinson, both in their 70s, had separately been using the same DNA matching website to dig into their family ancestries.
Alan Robinson, who was adopted, and Walter McFarlane never knew who his father was. The results of their DNA search revealed that they shared several identical chromosomes, showing that the two lifelong friends had the same birth mother. The discovery was all the more remarkable for the fact that the two men first met in the 6th grade and were classmates at the same Honolulu prep school, where they also played on the same football team. The brothers plan to travel together and enjoy their retirement, making up, they say, for decades of lost time.
That's all we have for this bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.